Welcome everybody. Today we're going to do a beautiful practice called the lung massage. And from a Taoist perspective, the lung is not just a physical organ, lung, but it's a whole organ system. Whereby when we talk about the physical lungs, obviously we talk about uh, the lungs for breath. But also we talk about the partner organ of the lung, which is the intestines. We talk about the skin because that's also very connected to the lungs. And we also consider that the lungs have a certain emotion connected to them, which is grief and sadness, and everything that's kind of depressing emotions, so blame and shame. And so we're going to work with all of that in order for us to feel more courageous, because the lungs also have this virtue energy, and the virtual energy of the lungs is actually courage, which is lovely to have in our lives. The lungs are connected to the season autumn, so all about letting go, basically. So before we start, we're gonna make sure we have a position that is gonna help us. So our feet are gonna be straight forward, the toes are pointing forwards, and we're gonna be shoulder width apart. So, and we take that from the big toe. And we're going to make sure that we are relaxed in our whole body. So our feet are flat on the earth, and we relax our feet, our ankles. It's just like we're doing a little scan in the body. We're going to make sure that the knees are unlocked. So there's this sense of obviously tension because we're standing up, but there's flow and ease in the posture. And then when we come to the pelvis, we can either imagine that we drop a grounding cord into the earth, or I always love to say that we imagine that we are a dragon and we have a tail, and by just tilting our pelvis slightly, that tail is actually hitting the floor. Which means that there's a tiny bit of tension in the anal sphincter and your perineum. And from there, we relax our belly, we relax our chest. There's a slight bit of space between the armpits in this posture. And it's almost like we have this rope from above or a balloon that's lengthening our spine and giving us a erect and dignified posture. And we just take a moment here in this posture, Wei Qi posture, and we feel our groundedness, our sense of connectedness to the earth and the sky. And we take a few breaths here to activate the lungs. And from here, we're gonna imagine that we have little suction cups under like in the center of our hands, our laogong points. And with those suction cups, we're gonna pull energy up from the earth. Then we bring our hands forward. We imagine energy from nature. And then we imagine energy from the sky, and we wash away anything that is no longer serving our lungs, our physical lungs, and we give it a little shower. And again, we always do this 3 times. So we connect to the earth, we connect to nature all around us, we connect to the sky, and again, we wash everything down, and now down the back of our bodies, but our hands are still in the front. And we do this one more time. So we connect to earth, nature all around us. We open the crown and we flush down the center of our body. And from here, we're gonna bring our hands to our lungs, the physical level. And we just take a few breaths here on the physical lungs, and maybe we take a moment to scan our lungs. Maybe something comes up already. Maybe you have a terrible cold. The lungs are also connected to the sinuses. And we simply take a moment to be here. And from here, we're going to start with some circles to warm up the lungs on the body. And we do that in a sequence of 3 breaths in, or 3 circles with 1 breath in, and then 3 circles with 1 breath out. We do 12 circles in total. And when you breathe in, you imagine beautiful cleansing energy coming into the lungs. And when we exhale, you imagine releasing anything that's not serving your lungs. So we start with going up and breathing in. And release. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in. And exhale. So after we've done those, we're going to reverse the circles. And again, we do this in sequence of 3. And out. Breathe in. And out. And then we're going to make a beautiful circle with our hands, and we're going to imagine that this circle is filled with beautiful white healing light, the color of the lungs. And when we press it in, which we're going to do in a bit, we imagine really pressing that beautiful white healing light into the lungs. And at the same time, we're going to release, and we're going to release with a sound. And that sound for the lungs is shang, which is S-H-A-N-G, but we say an O, so it's shang. And we're going to do that about 12 to 14 times. So we're going to start on the lungs. We're going to fill this beautiful circle up. And then shang. Second time. Shang. Shang. Beautiful white healing light. We press it in. Shang. 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 Beautiful white light. Shang. Shang. 2 more. Shang. Shang. And just take a moment to rest your hands on your lungs. From here, we're bringing our hands down, and we're going to do again the pulling down the heavens. So we imagine pulling energy up from the earth, from nature, from the sky, and we wash all the energy down And this time we place though in the dantian, which is a point just below the navel. And again, earth, nature, sky. And we wash it down into the dantian just to store it there. The dantian is our lowest energy center. It's a beautiful place to store. And again, nature, of earth, nature, sky, open the crown. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to bring our hands forwards. The backs of our hands are facing each other in front of the navel. And we're going to imagine, and we're going to do some reverse breathing. So when we breathe in, we suck the belly in. So we breathe in and exhale. And remember, we imagine closing the highest energy center, our third eye. Again. And here we imagine cleansing and closing the heart center. And we do it the third time. We cleanse and close the lower belly, the lower dantian. And we just take a moment to rest and to get back into position. So really check, how is my position? Is my pelvis still slightly tilted? Am I holding tension anywhere? What do I need to release to create maximum flow? Just become aware of that. And from here, we're going to go to the second level of the lungs, which is just a little bit off the body. It's kind of here. And again, we're going to work with white. And just to know that this level of the lungs, so it's all about grief and sadness. So it's all about blame, shame, self-blame. So we really want to release that at this level. So again, we're going to start with flushing that level, with the pulling down the heavens. So we imagine bringing energy up from the earth, from nature all around us, from the sky, and we're rinsing all this down through the mental, emotional level. Earth, nature, we wash the back, but our hands are still in the front. And again, earth, nature, we open the crown. Beautiful. And again, from here, we're gonna make some circles. So we're placing our hands at that level, about 10 centimeters of the body. And we do again 12 circles, 3 breaths in, 3 exhales with the mouth open. So and reverse. Beautiful. And from here, we're gonna again fill this beautiful bowl up with light, and we're gonna bring it to that level, and we're gonna use a different sound. Like it's the same sound, it's still shang, but this time we whisper. So we start. Sha. So fill this beautiful bowl up and bring it into the lungs. Sha. While releasing through the sound. The eyes are open. Sha. And again. Sha. Sha. This can be so powerful. Sha. releasing any grief, sadness, blame, shame. Depressing thoughts, basically. One more. And we bring our hands all the way onto the lungs, and we take a moment to just feel, to connect. And again, we're going to use the pulling down the heavens to bring the energy down to our navel, our lower dantian. So we connect to the earth, to nature all around us, to the sky, and we bring the energy down to the navel unless we want to really release it, and then you just let it go down all the way into the earth, and your body knows. So again, earth, nature, sky, washing down the back of our bodies. And one more time through the crown, earth, nature, sky, washing down the backs. And again, bringing our hands in front of our navel, the backs of our hands touching, and we're closing. So we're basically closing all centers, the heart center. So these three centers. So we do that by doing a reverse breath and really imagine that we're purging and closing. So anything that's still there can go. So breathe in. Heart center. Down lowest dantian. Navel. And again, just take a moment to relax in this posture. Wuji. Are my toes still pointing forward? Is my pelvis still dropped and slightly? Am I still erect? Just take a moment to feel that. And then we're going to work, after this, we're going to work at the last level, the spiritual level of the lungs. And the spiritual level is where our Po, the spirit of the lungs, lives. And the Po is basically all about, doing this human experience. So the Po is responsible for us breathing when we don't actually have to consciously say, I'm breathing. Or as one of my teachers once said, that feeling that you're driving your car and all of a sudden you're there. So who did the driving? That would be the Po. So that's what we're going to cultivate. So again, we're going to start with the pulling down the heavens. Breathe from earth, nature, from the sky, and we're washing down the spiritual level of the body. I always think this is really powerful. Again, nature. Washing down the back of our bodies. And one last time. Open the crown. And this time, it's going to be a little bit further even. So this was the physical level, mental, emotional. So the spiritual level is about here. And the sound that comes with it is the mysterious sound, which is basically the sound, Shang, but in your mind. So we're going to start with some circles again. So breathe in. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in. Exhale through the mouth. Other side. Exhale. And we bring our hands back for a little bit. So we really feel the distinction here. This was our physical, mental, emotional. So this is the spiritual. And from here again, we're gonna bring our hands forwards, and we are really feeling that sense of beautiful white light that's gonna help you cleanse the spiritual level. So we're gonna start with number one, and the sound in our minds. Shang, but I only said it now for you guys. So in your minds. And make sure we smile. Huh? We're cleaning and cleansing and bringing beautiful fresh chi into our lungs. One more. Coming all the way to the physical layer, connecting to the lungs. And again, we're gonna do a pulling down the heavens. We connect to the earth, to nature all around us, to the sky, and we imagine bringing everything down into the Lord on Chen, except what we do not want and that we bring to the earth. And again, earth, nature all around us, sky, washing down the back, storing in the lower Danchen. One more time, connecting to earth, to nature all around us, to the sky. We open the crown and we flush through the crown. And one last time, we're bringing our hands in front of the navel. And we do this reverse breathing again, first closing the higher, like the highest Danchen, third eye. And release through the mouth. One more time, heart center. One last time, navel. Beautiful. And I'm going to invite you to just place your hands on your lungs and connect first to a sense of making 12 circles in your mind's eye through your lungs, just to support all the levels of the lungs. And once you have done 12, you reverse direction and you do another 12 circles. And then I'm going to invite you to connect to beautiful divine light, to fill up your lungs at any level or all the levels, whatever feels aligned. And when I say divine, it's anything that's meaningful to you, like a higher source. And just imagine the divine filling up your lungs with this beautiful, powerful divine light, and taking 12 breaths here. And when you're done, you can place your hands on your navel. And I always like to end this with a practice called the microcosmic orbit. I will make another video about the microcosmic orbit. Maybe it's already on by the time you see this. But the microcosmic orbit basically means it's basically an energy circuit in the body. So just follow along and see what happens. If nothing, don't worry about it. Something still happens. So we imagine a little pearl sitting behind our hands. And this pearl is going to drop down to your perineum. And then it's going to go all the way up your spine. So it's going to go up to your tailbone, behind your navel, the back of your heart, all the way up the back of your neck, over the skull, hitting your crown, and then going all the way to your third eye. And there, this little pearl is gonna go back in, and it's just gonna drop back down to this point where your hands are. And again, we're doing that little circuit. So just imagine this pearl dropping down to your perineum, tailbone, behind your navel, behind your heart, up your neck, over the head, in your third eye, dropping back down, all the way down to the perineum, basically up the back, down the front. And just imagine. You just take a few rounds. It's really beautiful balancing practice, balancing the yin and yang energy. There's a lot more to say about this practice. But for today, it was just a little taster. And then we imagine this pearl dropping again in the lower dantian. And we're going to focus on our hands. We're going to make some circles. So we just take a moment to feel, and we're going to do 9 circles. We start counterclockwise from small to bigger around the navel. And then other direction. And again, just come back into Wei Qi posture. And bring your hands in front of your heart, and take a moment to acknowledge your body, acknowledge yourself for making this effort of doing this practice today. I always love the thought that as I'm doing it, I'm connected to a field of people that are practicing Qigong everywhere in the world, and that we're all in this beautiful big field. I'm going to take a moment to bow to Mother Earth and thanking everybody that's joining this field with me today for their presence.